dirty gambits, cheap tricks, and how to win in 5 moves. You love watching these videos, but guess what? So do your opponents. And every time you grab some random pawn in the opening, you're volunteering to be the lab rat in some dirty chess opening video. So I've prepared 2 games for you. One to show you exactly how fast you can get humiliated for taking the wrong pawn. And then this one, to show you exactly how to deal with these opening traps without losing your rating, your time, or what's left of your self-respect. e4 e5, knight f3 knight c6, bishops out, the usual pleasantries. We're looking at a game between 2 lead chess gladiators, both hovering just below the sacred 1000 elo mark, desperate to escape 3-digit hell. Everything's calm, serene, like a family dinner before someone brings up politics. And then, b4. Immigration policies. Also known as the Evans Gambit. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the quintessential free pawn. It's dangling there, practically begging to be taken. And what does our unsuspecting lab rat do? Of course. Bishop takes b4. White responds with c3, immediately gaining tempo on that greedy bishop. This is the core philosophy of a gambit. Sacrifice a pawn, to gain development, and time. Black's bishop has to retreat. White then strikes at the center with d4. Pawn takes, castles kingside, and black, bless his clueless soul, keeps taking those free pawns. At this point, he's probably thinking, what's the worst that could happen? Well, the worst, my friends, is that white has been developing pieces fast, while black's been busy collecting shiny objects. And what does more development mean? It means you can sacrifice pieces with little to no immediate drawback. It means, you can unleash hell. Bishop takes f7, check. King takes, surrendering all castling rights, and exposing the king to more attacks. A small price to pay for gaining a whole bishop, right? Well, queen d5, check. Look at that bishop on c5. Black retreats to e8. But white, with a sudden boost of the intelligence hormone, testosterone. Yes, I said it. Throws in queen h5 check, just to disrupt what little kingside shelter black has left. And then, queen takes c5. Believe it or not, black is still up 2 pawns. All he has to do is consolidate. But here's the kicker. If there's one thing we're all absolutely terrible at, all the way up to 2000 elo, it's defending a weak king. We treat our exposed kings like climate change. Hope, cope, and when it goes south, blame the creator. Black tries queen f6, protecting the c3 pawn. White pushes e5, attacking the queen. In this position, I, mortal chess, would be thinking along the lines of queen e7, hoping for a queen trade. Yes, hoping. Hoping these powerful pieces get off the board, so I can consolidate my material advantage. But black, in a moment of brilliance, or perhaps desperation, plays d6. A suspicious move. Why? Because white's queen simply scoops up the knight on c6 with check. And after the forced trade of queens, I am very good at counting. I can tell you black lost 3 points in that transaction. White is only 1 point up. And I can also tell you that in my house, the bedroom fun has been cut down to roughly 5 times a year. Because unfortunately in 2025, these ancient tools can only be used to enhance the bedroom fun. They can't initiate it. Something's not right with the Constitution. Anyway, white didn't find queen takes knight. He took on d6 instead. Black recaptures with a pawn hitting the queen, and then rook e1, check. White knows where his advantage lies, attacking black's exposed king. The knight blocks, queen a3 escapes. Black then plays c2, a brilliant looking move, attacking the knight, and the rook on a1. But the move bishop b2 hits like a cold shower. The rook is protected, and black has new problems to deal with. He decides to capture the knight, promoting to a queen, and here, white needed to find bishop takes queen. Because if the queen moves to safety, that rook will be captured for free. Instead, rook takes was played, and now black needs to find queen f8 to avoid losing the rook for free. Queen f5. Yeah, this is a sub 1000 elo game. Because after bishop takes rook, scooping up another piece, black tries to protect the d6 pawn with king d7. Knight h4 hits the queen, and black's response? Try putting yourself in the shoes of a 900 elo player with an exposed king, and the pain of bishop takes rook fresh in his mind. You'll easily arrive at queen e4, the move that was played in the game. And that, my friends, is how deadly it can be to have an unsafe king, even if you're up a few pawns. Because below 1000 elo, how many players take that free pawn, defend their position, and then navigate a complex endgame to convert that single pawn advantage? Yeah, It never happens. This is what happens. Take a look at the position. The level of black's misery would make the clan proud. So, instead of capturing these free pawns, what's my recommendation? Well, e4 e5, knight f3 knight c6, bishops out, all very civil. We're diving into another rated blitz game, this time featuring what I assume is a French gang member. Le Grudge. Facing off against Vizier 101, who from the multiple languages I speak, I can assure you is from the Middle East. Yeah, we're discussing immigration policies with this one. b4. The Evans Gambit. That pawn is dangling, daring black to capture, but this time, with the cold caution of a man who's had his soul and bank account emptied in a single court appearance, he does something different. Instead of capturing, black plays bishop b6, declining the gambit. The safe option. Boring as it sounds, this is my recommendation against gambits you're unfamiliar with. Just don't take the pawn, because, is there a gambit where not taking the pawn has led to death? And if you're allergic to boring chess, well, this game will show you that a sub 1000 elo game is like a peaceful conversation with your wife. It can descend into madness in the blink of an eye. I would know, because I'm currently rated 900 on my chess.com account, Sister Abigail. Named after a Catholic nun who gave me the worst life advice imaginable. Click the link to my Patreon for more chilled content, and to share life stories. Knight c3, still leaving the b4 pawn undefended, daring black to snatch it. Black's next move? Knight d4. Now, developing a knight twice in the opening before your king is safe is usually a no-no. But in my opinion, it's a better mistake than mindlessly taking free pawns, and steering the game into your opponent's saved YouTube video. White exchanges knights, black recaptures. Then white plays knight d5. Le voila! This is what happens when you drag your opponent out of their comfort zone. A simple decision to not capture a free pawn, and in a few moves, look at that rook on a1. So black plays d6. Yeah, it's a 1000 elo game, what do you want from me? But at least this time, your king is safe from your blunders. c3, I assume was played instantly. The bishop retreats, and then queen f3 lands with the little threat of queen takes f7. But black is calm. He plays knight f6 for defense. d4 strikes at the center, and then bishop g4 gains a tempo on white's queen. This is how you handle positions when you're unfamiliar with the exact lines. You rely on principles, king safety, and the raw survival instincts you use to hide from your landlord. White's queen sidesteps to g3, and black castles kingside. Black's king is now safe on g8. f3, the bishop retreats, after which bishop d5 is white's move. You know you've successfully navigated a gambit, when your opponent starts attacking lowly pawns like the one on b7, instead of your king. Takes, and black solidifies his king position further with bishop g6. For black to get mated from this position, it would take great effort. From both sides of the board. White launches a kingside pawn storm with h4. Then h5, pure aggression. Yeah, I know most of you will live and die by this style of play. And that's because the chessboard is the only place you get to feel like a man. After spending your whole weekend helping around the house. Bishop h7, for the first time in the game, it looks like white's aggression might actually pay off. Can you find the move white missed in this position? It's a move that uses the queen's pin on the g7 pawn. Yes, bishop takes h6. And the best defense? King h8, breaking the pin so that on the next move, you can capture the bishop on h6. White takes on e5, and his own king safety? You know the motto. Hope, cope, and after rook e8, blame the creator. But credit where it's due, white was brave, and players like him are what make chess beautiful. The queen retreats, but doesn't escape slaughter. King takes back, and now black's queen comes out to play. And if there's anything sub 1000 elo players excel at, it's using the queen like a digital vacuum cleaner. And in the next few moves, black does just that. I want to know what kind of content you actually enjoy on this channel. Deep Grandmaster game analysis? Or the 3-digit hell we've just witnessed? Drop GM in the comments if you want Grandmaster games, or Super GM if you prefer watching these sub 1000 battles, that feel like budget horror films on a chessboard. Now, the rest of this game might look like a straightforward win, but trust me, at this level, a single move like rook a3, can trigger an existential crisis faster than rereading your wife's wedding vows. But credit where it's due, black's vacuum cleaning form is impeccable, and if you've made it this far into the video, you're probably not the easily offended type. Leave a like. But let's see if you can handle 12 full minutes of a direct assault on your intelligence.